Hi everyone, so this video is going to go through finding the equation of a line when you are given a gradient and a point that you know the line goes through. And it's not just going to be me today, it's also going to be using a teacher called Mr Mathwell, who's going to sing you a song to help you remember the formula. So if you read on Show My Homework that there's going to be a song, it's not me singing it, it's Mr Mathwell, which I'll show you in a second. So first of all, we've got to find the equation of a line with gradient 4 that passes through 3, 2. So first of all, it's probably easier if I just tell you the formula that does this and then I'll explain how it works. So the formula is y minus y1 equals m, and then it's times all of this bit in brackets, and in the brackets you put x minus x1. Now it's the kind of thing that's obviously going to seem a little bit strange to begin with. But the more you do, it is the same thing every time, so you will need to watch a few examples before it probably kind of clicks. So first of all, the y here and the x here, they're just going to stay as y and x. The only thing that you're going to have to replace in this formula is the y1 and the x1, and also the m. Now you should remember from y equals mx plus c that the m stands for the gradient, and so we know from here that the gradient is 4, isn't it? So that means that m is 4, and we also have got a coordinate here, 3 and 2, and remember in that coordinate x comes first and then this is the y coordinate, so this is going to be your x1 and the 2 is going to be your y1. And once you've done that, it's really just a case now of putting the m and the x1 and y1 into this formula here, and then you've just got to rearrange it a little bit. So it's going to be y take away y1. So remember, y1 is the second part of the coordinates of the 2. So it's going to be y minus 2. So like I said, that y stays the same. It's only the y1 and the x1 that we're going to replace with these numbers. So that equals, and then it's m, where we just said m is 4, because that's the gradient. And then it's going to be x minus x1, and x1 is the 3. Okay, so you can see from that the y I've kept the same, x I've kept the same, but I've replaced the x1 and y1 with the coordinate, and the m I've replaced with the gradient. So after that, you're very used to now when you see brackets like that, you know to expand them. So the next thing we're going to do is expand the brackets, so y minus 2, expand these brackets, so 4 times x is 4x, we've got a minus, and then 4 times 3 is 12. So after that, you just need to think, well, what can we do just to simplify this a little bit? Well, we've got this minus 2, so why don't we add 2 to both sides? So then we just get y equals, I need to add 2 to minus 12. So remember, if you're on minus 12 and you add 2, you're going to go that way on your number line, so to the right, and so that's going to give you minus 10. So it'll be 4x minus 10. So the hardest thing really is just to remember the formula, so this formula here. And that's where Mr Mathwell, I feel like I should give him credit for the song, seeing I'm putting it on my YouTube channel as well. So this is Mr Mathwell, you can probably search him on YouTube, and this is the way he sings it to remember. Okay, so hopefully, if I put that up close, you can see this.
Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I say y.
Okay, I'm just going to stop it there before he gets too into it. But yeah, that's the kind of main tune that the Year 11s last year used to remember the formula. So every time we're going to need that formula, I'm now going to play you that song. It is actually on my YouTube channel. If you look at my playlists, it's actually on there, the full video, if you want to check that out and see the whole thing. But for now, we're just going to do the short version of it. So next one, a line, so we've got gradient 3, and it passes through the point 4, 15. So again, we've got to think, right, I know that m is going to be 3, because that's the gradient, and then this is the x1, and this is the y1. So then as soon as you've got a gradient and a point, you need to think, well, what am I going to use? And so then we need to think of the song.
Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I say y.
Okay, so y minus y1, I feel like I should sing this now when I do it, equals m times x minus x1. So we're now going to substitute the values in. So it's going to be y minus 15, because y1 is the 15. M is 3, so 3. The x we're going to keep the same, and then the x1 is the first number in the coordinates, so that's 4. So if I now expand the bracket, so it'd be y minus 15 equals 3 times x, so 3x minus 3 times 4 is 12, and the last step is just to add that 15 over. So you don't have to put the lines down like that. If you can do it without the lines, that's fine. So that would give me y equals 3x, and then minus 12 plus 15 is positive 3, so therefore it would be plus 3 on the end. So the next couple of examples, even if you think you've kind of got this now, the next couple of examples are slightly different because one's got a negative gradient and the other one's got a fractional gradient. So I would just keep listening and make sure you can do those as well. So next one, we are again finding the equation of a line. We've got the gradient. We know the gradient is minus 5. So m equals minus 5. And it goes through the point 2 minus 4. So that's x1 and that is y1. So then you've got to think again, right, what am I going to use? We are going to use our formula. So here we go. You're going to get really annoyed with this by the end of the video.
Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I said y.
Right, there we go. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we're going to do y minus minus 4, so it's going to be y plus 4 equals, and then it's going to be minus 5 for m, and then it's going to be x minus x1, which is 2. So we're going to expand the brackets, so you get minus 5x, minus 5 times minus 2 is positive 10, so plus 10, and this time to get rid of plus 4 we're going to have to take away 4. So that's going to give me y equals minus 5x will stay the same, 10 take away 4 is 6, it's positive 6, so I put plus 6 on the end. Right, last one, so it'll be the last time you need to listen to the song. So this time we know the gradient is 3/5, so that's going to be m. So m is 3/5, and then again our coordinate is here, so that's going to be x1. And that's going to be y1. So to get the equation of a line, what is the formula? Mr Mathwell, please share it with us.
Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I said y.
Okay, so y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So it's going to be y stays the same, y1 is 2, m is the horrible fraction this time, so 3/5, and that's going to be x minus x1, so x1 is the 8. So when you have a fraction like this, we'll see how this one goes today. If we need to do another lesson on this one, then we can do. If you've got a fraction, to get rid of what's on the bottom, you've got to times by that. So we're going to times by 5, and when you do that, that just gets rid of it on this side, and we need to times this side by 5 as well. So it's going to become 5y take away 10 if I times both of those by 5. And now I'm just going to expand these brackets like normal. So it's going to be 3 times x, and then 3 times minus 8 is minus 24. So again, you just got to think, well, what can we do with that now to simplify it? Well, we've got minus 10 here and minus 24 here. So let's get the numbers all on to the same side. So we could add 10. So you'd get 5y equals 3x, and then minus 24 plus 10 is minus 14. So unless it says to write your answer in the form y equals mx plus c, in which case we would have to divide by 5, it is okay to leave your answer now like that, unless the question says it wants y to be the subject.